When did you realize someone only loved you when it was easy? I was 24 when my sister's son was born with severe spinal muscular atrophy, and watching her life unravel over the next 8 years taught me everything I needed to know about Mercy. She'd been a talented nurse with plans to travel the world, but those dreams evaporated in hospital rooms and sleepless nights filled with her son's agonized crying. Her husband left after 3 years. Her friends stopped calling. By the time her son died at age 8, she was hollowed out completely. At his funeral, she held my hand and whispered, "At least he's not in pain anymore." That's when I promised myself, if I ever faced that choice, I would choose mercy over suffering. When I met David at 26 and things got serious, I knew I had to tell him. Over dinner, we discovered genetic disorders ran in both our families, his uncle dying of muscular dystrophy at 19, and after hours of talking about what we'd seen and feared, I asked carefully if he'd be okay with terminating if it happened to us. He reached across the table, took both my hands, and agreed. 2 years later, we got engaged and started planning our life together. Our son Ben was born healthy when I was 29. 10 fingers, 10 toes, perfect. David sobbed in the delivery room. "Thank God you're healthy, buddy." For 3 years, we were deliriously happy. David was an incredible father. When Ben turned 3, he started talking about a sibling, maybe a little sister. I was terrified, but he reminded me of our promise. We know what we'll do if something's wrong, and I trusted him completely. I got pregnant quickly. The moment we found out it was a girl, David transformed. He bought pink paint that afternoon, spent weekends with Ben assembling furniture while debating names, keeping a running list on his phone. I'd never seen him so joyful. At 20 weeks, everything was perfect. At 24 weeks, I knew something was wrong the moment the ultrasound tech's face changed. "I need to get the doctor," she said quietly. The tests took 3 agonizing days. Severe spina bifida, hydrocephalus, club feet, heart defects. If she survives birth, the doctor explained gently, she'll need a dozen surgeries in her first year. She'll never walk. The pain will be constant. Life expectancy is perhaps 15 years with aggressive intervention. David was silent in that sterile room for what felt like hours. Then his words tumbled out frantically. "We'll renovate the bathroom for wheelchair access. I can sell my car. I'll work from home. Mom can watch Ben during hospital stays." "David," I interrupted. "We talked about this." He looked at me like I'd slapped him. That was before she was real. Before I felt her kick. Before Ben kissed your belly and called her his baby sister. His voice was rising. "This is completely different. You promised we'd choose mercy," I said quietly. He stood up so fast his chair crashed to the floor. "Mercy? You want to kill our daughter and you call that mercy?" He was shouting now. "That's not mercy. That's murder. That's giving up." Then he stormed out, leaving me alone with ultrasound gel still cold on my skin. For 2 days, he wouldn't even look at me, locking himself in the pink nursery while Ben kept asking why Daddy was sad. On the 3rd day, I made the appointment. "It's scheduled for Tuesday at 9 a.m. I told him. "If you do this, you're doing it alone," he said with his back to me. "Fine." My mom drove me to the clinic. David texted that morning, "I need time to think, but I'll pick you up after. I promise." I went through with it, holding the nurse's hand while I sobbed, not from regret, but from grief for the daughter I loved enough to spare from suffering. David never came. After 4 hours, my mom returned to get me. At home, I found his note on the kitchen counter. "Can't do this. Need space. Taking some things. We'll call about Ben." 8 years of marriage over just like that. For months, I could barely function. The children need you to keep going. I took Ben to school, made lunches, answered his questions about Daddy with, "I don't know, sweetheart," until he stopped asking. Slowly, we built a new life. I got promoted twice. Ben thrived in soccer and drawing. We moved to a smaller house with a big backyard. Friday nights became movie nights. We were happy. Then 3 years later, David called. "Please don't hang up," he said immediately, his voice breaking. "I'm engaged. She's pregnant with severe abnormalities and wants to terminate. I need you to talk to her. Tell her you regret it, please." I watched Ben playing outside and said, "Okay, put her on." There was shuffling, then a woman's cautious, "Hello? I hope someone drives you to the appointment," I started. "I hope someone holds your hand. I hope someone picks you up after, like they promised they would." Then I hung up and blocked his number. Found out through Facebook 6 months later that she'd kept the baby after all. David lasted 3 weeks of sleepless nights and medical equipment deliveries before disappearing. Left her a note saying he needed space, same words he'd used on me. She posted asking if anyone knew how to track him down for child support, desperate and alone with a severely disabled newborn. He was real good at making babies with problems, and even better at running from them.